Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Gorilla Technologies, a channel providing AI solutions across all industries with advanced products in video analytics and cybersecurity. Joining us to give us a high-level overview of the company today, Jay, the Chief Executive Officer. First and foremost, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Thanks for having me.
I love having you on during this fascinating exploration period in the artificial intelligence world. Let's roll back a little bit. I mean, you helped bring Gorilla Tech public via SPAC announced in 2021. Can you kind of give us some backstory on the origins of Gorilla Tech leading up to this public announcement?
Absolutely. So Gorilla is a 22-year-old company, as you know. What's interesting about the business is it evolved from being what is called a video analytics business. And quickly, it kind of understood what the pain points of the customers were. It worked with the customer very closely to build solutions so that the customer's pain points were relieved or eased out over a period of time. But what was interesting about that is also, as and when they built the customer's products, they also built their own IP internally. And today, if you see, Gorilla's got about 24 patents. I think 4 or 5 of them are pending. We've got 10 plus trademarks across the world. And what was interesting about Gorilla for me, when I looked at it from a public perspective, was how can I transform a niche Taiwanese AI specialist into a global enterprise? How can I bring this technology into the world so that we can absolutely focus on how we could help smart cities go through their digital transformation? How could we make it safer? But more importantly, how can I create an impact in the market and get market share? So when we actually analyzed the company, what was interesting for me, especially, was the portfolio of products that existed. There's not many companies on the planet who've got a very wide range of products, which we have today. Now, right from what we call the edge AI side of it, to cybersecurity, to data analysis. Now, when you put all this together, it becomes a very powerful tool when we go and pitch for businesses. So when we started looking at clients, we talked about, how can I help you with your digital transformation? But more importantly, how can I actually help you free up your own IT teams, right? Can you outsource some of that work to us so that we can manage those operations for you? And the customers started becoming more receptive because it's all about cost saving at the end of the day for the customers. So think of us as a platform as a service. We've got a bunch of products which we can go to the market and attack the customer and help the customer, more importantly. But at the same time, we're also about, how can I create an outsourced managed services for the customer so I can free up his resources and help him save money? That was what was the spark which struck with Gorilla for me. And then when we realized the customer's requirements and we analyzed what the customer's requirements were very simple, right? I mean, customers are not very complex animals. They're very simple. They wanted quality, right? They wanted sustainability. And more importantly, they wanted to create economic competitiveness within themselves, for themselves. So we were able to deliver on every single aspect of that. That's why we've been quite successful in winning deals for a small company such as Gorilla.
And speaking of delivering and kind of customer growth there, I mean, you offered guidance of 65 to 75 million for 2023. And that was, just focusing on April here, you secured smart government cybersecurity projects, announced a new office in India, and announced intention to acquire Begum Internet work. Do you want to talk about the tech that's kind of driving this growth?
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, edge is one small part of the of the overall part for us. What's interesting for us is about the whole smart city infrastructure growth today. So we talk about smart city and safe city. Now, if you're not very familiar with smart cities, I mean, everybody talks about smart cities today. Kyle, I mean, as you can understand, if you put a camera up there, people say, "Hey, we're smart," but that doesn't work that way. It's about creating an infrastructure which is based on technology. It's about creating effectiveness and efficiencies within what we call a very highly functional public transportation, for example. It's about creating confident, progressive city plans. And more importantly, it's also about, when I go out in the market, I'm talking about people able to live a better life, right? So if you look at our product portfolio, which I talked about previously, Edge AI is a very effective tool to help capture data, right? Where we can sit down and work with customers and say, I can help you reduce your cost, I can reduce your latency, I can increase your security across your networks, and more importantly, I can create reliability. But can I do beyond that? Can I help you secure your network, right? We're talking about network surveillance, open source intelligence, threat detection, anomaly detection, cybersecurity, electronic security. But apart from that, I mean, and I'm trying to kind of move away from just the technology side of it, what's important for us is also where we go in, we create impact. And this is quite important. For a small company, we shouldn't be saying, big companies do that all the time. But for a small company, we invest locally in areas where where we enter. Now, you talked you talked about Baycom, and the reason why we're looking at Baycom as an acquisition potentially is because we're seeing Thailand going through what is called a leapfrog moment today. It's Thailand's moment today. They're investing heavily into infrastructure. They're ready for the pivot, but they also need help on their infrastructure. So what are we doing? We're buying a local company, investing in locally in the resources, building our own operational practices in our R&D center, and creating economic impact for the local economy. So when I go back, when I step out of that plane, for me it's about, can I create technological excellence, right? Can I create what is called a strong, productive teams building local innovation with local resources? I can fly people from anywhere in the world into Thailand and do the implementation. That doesn't create an impact at the end of the day. For me, it's about how am I going to build the next catapult and where am I going to build? So we have very targeted focus today. Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Taiwan, Singapore, India, United Kingdom post-Brexit, and now in the Middle East and North Africa. That's kind of our, regions where we're focused on building the national catapults.
Yeah, definitely appreciate these insights. There's a lot going on here. I mean, you have over a decade of history in capital markets, and you obviously sound very consumed and enthralled in this industry. Do you want to roll back a little bit and kind of give us that idea behind the aha moment that kind of led you down this AI route and eventually getting involved with Gorilla?
Well, so I have been involved in secondary portfolio purchases for the better part of near 13, 14 years. Now, during my journey, we realized that there were a number of technologies which were going to stay and create an impact for the market. So when I look at, for example, fintech, insurtech, big data, edtech, medtech, those are the areas where we started investing. But then over the last 7 to 8 years, if you've seen the way AI has evolved, it's gone to 4 or 5 avatars already. And now we're looking at AI 5.0. We believe that's where governments are putting in a lot more investment. They're investing to make their citizens much more smarter. Investing to make their urbanization far more efficient. But more importantly, it's also about adopting the digital services so that people can then make use of that more efficiently. So when I looked at the market, for me, AI was just one of the tools, which would help what we call the urbanization. For me, it was the entire package of bringing smart and safe together. And when I looked at Gorilla, I knew that what there was, Gorilla didn't have everything. It doesn't have everything. I'll be honest with you today. It doesn't have all the entire suite of products today, but we are building it. So if you look at our approach today, it's 75-25, 75 build in-house, 25 acquire. And so we're focused on that as our what we call our thought process, as our mantra, as our innovative goal going forward as well.
Well, on that note, I definitely appreciate these insights, and I'll pass the question off to the viewers. We'd love to know what you think in that comment section below, and consider subscribing because as news hits the wire, we're going to continue to update you here. But on that, as always, we look forward to catching you in the next one.
Thank you very much, Kyle.